Building confidence when you're about to give up on you. The 3 questions, how they relate to building your confidence quick and easy. Let's talk about it. Roll it. Welcome back to another video where we've been exploring this whole idea of giving up and quitting, and how following these 3 questions, well, it can help us move in that right direction in all areas of our lives. Really sitting down and analyzing them, and I mean really analyzing them in relation to what you're going through, what you're thinking, everything that has happened in the past, and what your expectations are for the future. They all kind of relate, and these 3 questions put the perspective, more of a logical reality rather than that narrative that's keeping our emotions in a state of turmoil. In yesterday's video, we talked about self-esteem and how that relates. And confidence is the forefront of us developing a stronger self-esteem. Understanding self-confidence in a series of successions will help us understand tomorrow's video on self-worth and how that relates into the development of self-esteem. So don't miss out tomorrow's video. Subscribe and hit the bell, and also take a look and binge watch on the rest of these videos, because I think they'll be worthwhile for you. Self-confidence in relation to self-esteem is, self-confidence is built over a series of successes. It comes when we are able to set a goal and achieve it. However, most of the time, and as you'll see through all these videos, we are setting up a narrative of high expectations that we believe we can meet based on emotion and not based on reality. If we really look at the idea behind building self-confidence, well, it's always happens over a series of time. It's like when you pick up, for instance, the camera and you start filming. You may not know anything, but as time goes on, you learn more and more about the camera, how the camera works, how to actually film, the tools, techniques that are used, the lighting, the sounds, you name it, and eventually everything starts to happen. It becomes second nature. It happens in all areas of our lives. Doesn't matter what we're doing, when we're developing a skill set, and that starts to grow on us to second nature because of repetition. When I coach people on their confidence levels, and it's one of the biggest complaints, it always revolves around them believing that they should be perfect, and they strive to meet these massive goals that really aren't justified. And in that process, they fail, and as they fail, they take a hit on their self-confidence. And all of a sudden, the negative narrative is born. And as that negative narrative grows, well, failure mentality is not too far off. And as that grows into a solidified understanding of who we are, well, then it's even harder to take a risk into something we need to change into. Growth fails to start happening once again, and we just become stale, sitting in a place where we don't necessarily want to be. In relation to the 3 questions, for one, we have to ask ourselves, why are we feeling the way we're feeling about any one issue? What is actually occurring in A, our mind, and B, in our hearts? What has gone on and what is going on? What is a series of events that has occurred that has brought you to this place? If we look at this from a perspective of writing everything down, we will actually see a pattern emerge. And if we can see that pattern, well, our emotions can be mapped out. We can actually see the ups and downs that brought us to the place we're at. Again, emotional turmoil is both the positives and the negatives, and at one point you might be super high at sky high, and then other times you'll be stuck in the ground and you'll be feeling like you can't get up. And of course, this is all based on expectations, which is our question number 2. What were your expectations? And what are the expectations now? What should they be? Are we making expectations, or remaking the expectations rather, in accordance to our emotions, or on the reality of what it is? And are we liking what we're seeing? sometimes reality of what we expect is not favorable in our mindset, not because of the logic behind it, but rather the ego that says, hey, you're better than this, you don't need to be doing this. Stick to not doing it because this is just not you, you're above it. Meanwhile, we need to slowly progress to those big goals that make us win the end game of what we're trying to achieve, which is the big goals, the big achievements, the big life purpose that we're here to do. And this is the reality behind it. It's the ego. Now, if you study on the ego and what ego really is, you'll come to a realization that it's a fear protection mechanism that humans have developed over the years. And really what it does is it uses fear to justify your actions and of course your reactions to things that are occurring. And in a sense, it is protecting you. However, it's not always the best way to be protected. Sometimes we have to grow out of our comfort zone, and the ego doesn't want you to because, again, there's risk involved in growth. And what we just discussed, well, the ego's saying, don't try. You don't need to try. Why risk failure? You are already above this, and it's too much effort, too much time will be taken when you could be doing something else. So why even bother risking failure? And then at the same time, if we look at it from a different perspective of this, well, it's risk and reward, and the ego going, hey, if you go back to fixing all this, you will start to see growth, and you're going to start seeing growth, but it's going to be hard, and it's going to be long, and you're going to go through a lot of turmoil to get there, and you don't even know if you'll be able to sustain the punishment you will be going through in order to achieve based on these little goals. We were expecting this big reward, and now we're not seeing that. It's going to take way more longer if you rearrange your expectations to reality. So let's not do it. I could go on in more scenarios with the ego and the fear base and how we could see different perspectives, but I think we all understand that when we're looking at what we're going through, we need to see reality for what it is and not the narrative or the false narrative rather that we've created in our minds to justify anything that we're trying to achieve. This is critical to really understand and comprehend in our actions that we're about to move forward on. If we don't attempt to answer the first two questions here, well, the third question is very simple. What do you have to gain from giving up? What's going to happen if you just give up on everything you just did? What is the results? What have you gained? What have you lost? The ego is going to tell you, hey, it's not about what you gain and what you lost. It's about what you're not going to lose down the road. And you know what? Right now, you're in a place of, at least it's not any worse moment. So why go into more work with that? The logic will tell you, no, we have to really weigh the pros and cons in the situation and ask ourselves, what is it really that's best for us? On an emotional level, what's best for us? And of course, future-wise, what's best for us? Sometimes we do need to give up. Sometimes we do need to quit on things. But most of the times, small little tweaks will get us to where we wanted to be, which will bring more satisfaction and more happiness to us. It will be a fulfillment that is worth more than money can bring to us in any one thing that we try to achieve. And the reality is that money isn't everything. Tangibles aren't everything. And maybe I should have swapped tangible with money there, but tangibles aren't everything. The rewards we get out of life, the most part, the best ones are the ones that are not tangible. They're the emotional ones that make us feel alive, make us feel human. When you're addressing question number 3, ask yourself, how emotional are you? If you go back and look at question 1 and 2, you will see that calmness will come. This is the process of working through this. It's a process that brings down the emotional turmoil to a place of you being centered. It makes you be very aware of who you are, what you're capable of, and really puts a new, fresh perspective of how everything fits in accordance to time and energy. This will help you really see what's going to happen if you do give up and actually logically write down the pros and the cons. Now, I always suggest that if you're trying to increase your confidence during this kind of situation where you're about to give up, that you give yourself more time, that you replan things out and put some more intermediary baby steps. These baby steps are small little goals that will help you see an achievement that will bring a positive push forward. By doing these small achievements, confidence will start to build up. And in fact, as you work towards anything, usually there is repetition in any one thing. So those initial things you started working on will start to become more repetitive. Going back to the camera, this is what you see, especially as you get to know more with working on video and photography. A lot of the stuff is second nature now. I'm able to hold the camera with one hand and know exactly where my fingers need to be, and off we go. Now I know if I get a second camera in a different model, well, I'm gonna have to learn that one, but repetition will be there and it will be quicker because I know what all the settings mean now. I know what everything is, and I know how to edit all the video. I know how to do all these other things that took a while to learn. This is the process of building confidence. A step-by-step approach where you apply a new skill set to learn and then repeatedly do it in future skill sets building that you're partaking through the goals you're trying to achieve. It's a process of growth. It's a process of movement forward. Nobody is perfect at any one thing, and if we become humble enough to accept that we're not perfect in any one thing and that we're long life learners, we will start to see confidence growing exponentially. We will see goals being smashed each and every day, and we will see success come, and it will come at a time where your confidence is just growing exponentially, and it will get you moving in the right direction. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. Hit that like button and hit the subscribe if you like what you see, so you can get your daily motivational idea to get you moving in the right direction. And of course, leave your comment below. Leave your story on confidence building. How does it look in your eyes? What have you done to increase your confidence? Have you helped anybody with their confidence? What has worked? What hasn't? Your comment below, who knows? Somebody might read it in the future. It might be relating more to you than to what I had to say today, and you might help change my life.